And today we're reacting to 3 true Uber horror stories animated. What was the last one I did? The McDonald's one? That one was cool. I think right now my favorite one was the OF one. That was the best one so far. Let's see if this one can beat that. Hey, I love y'all, man. I appreciate y'all. All the love y'all show here on this channel, bro. This channel going up. It's doing great. And we just gonna keep doing it, bro. We keep being consistent here. Y'all know how this shit go. I love y'all, man. I appreciate y'all. Great for y'all. Let's get into it.
Hey, horror shorties. This sponsor is brought to you by the Netflix of...
I'm straight. I don't need no sponsor, man. I don't need no sponsor. Let me get into it.
Literally my
Man, let me watch my video, man. With my people. Damn, this is a long ad, ain't it? Here we go.
I was a 21-year-old male living in the outskirts of the city. I personally enjoyed living in a rural area, as I found it more peaceful than living in the city, where it was often congested with hordes of pedestrians roaming the streets. The area where I resided was made up of crop fields and farms.
This already done gave me chills, bro. Who was that?
The streets.
Who was that?
The area where I resided was made up of crop fields and farmland, not the commonly seen infrastructure I was used to seeing in the city. It was nothing but just farm animals and broad landscapes glistening within the horizon.
Nice.
I usually was in the city for the latter part of my day, as I was a full-time Uber driver that worked close to 12 hours a day.
12 hours in the Uber? That's a tough one, bro. I remember I used to try to do DoorDash, claim that I was going to be out there 4 or 5 hours, bro. Didn't do it. Couldn't do it, bro. Back in those days. Also, my car, I ain't have enough gas for it, bro. I was doing DoorDash for gas, but spending money on gas, man.
I personally didn't like the job a whole lot, but unfortunately I didn't have much of a choice, as I needed to help my parents pay off their mortgage that was lingering over their shoulders for the last decade or so.
That's your problem,
I
man.
wasn't much of a people person, so I would always drive in silence or casually have the radio playing in the background.
Why does he sound like this?
Just to ease the subtle awkwardness of a complete stranger sitting in the passenger side next to me. I remember on this one particular night, I was heading home from a long shift of driving a bunch of drunk college students around the city, considering it was the weekend. The time was around 2 or 3 in the morning when I was driving through the back ends of the countryside, as it was usually the quickest route to get home. It was generally recommended not to take this direction during these times, as there wasn't many streetlights around, just tall crop fields and one gloomy road ahead.
Damn! Bro, that's gotta ruin your whole whip, bro. You already know if a deer hit your car, you know your window shattering, you done messed up something. Things is messed up, bro. You messed something up.
What the hell was that?
We
I
all saw
remember
what that
getting
was.
out of my car and slowly approaching the front bumper just to see what the hell
Why do you have to
collided
drive
with my
through a
vehicle.
cornfield when you get home, bro?
I can recall seeing a deer's
Oh my
body
God.
laying lifeless
You sure that you did that? Rip the deer in half? You sure he wasn't running from something?
on the dirt road.
And the flies
It was
already
almost
on
as
it?
if the sudden impact from my car had completely obliterated the deer's physical frame into a bloody matter of guts and organs scattered all over the ground. The deer was surprisingly still alive,
Oh, man.
as I could hear it wheezing in agony while its legs began twitching from
Hey, man, I ain't gonna lie. Once I saw this happen, when I see this, I'm getting back in my car and see if it turned back on, bro. There's nothing I can do. And I'm in this dark area. What am I staring at this for, bro?
the initial shock of the collision. I legitimately felt sick to my stomach
Get back in the
and
car.
immediately
Let's go.
went inside my car. I didn't know if calling 911 would be the wisest decision, considering I was young and naive. I was honestly convinced that there was a possibility that I could go to jail.
What? Bro, 20 what? You're 20 what? You idiot. That don't even make sense. What are they gonna charge you with? Manslaughter? It's not a man. Deer slaughter? That's not a thing, bro. Get out of here, bro.
That's when I ultimately decided to take matters into my own hands, as I grabbed a pair of latex gloves from the glove compartment of my car.
You got it, brother. You got
I
it.
put them on and held the deer by its legs, while manually dragging the dead carcass off to the side of the road. I began hearing police sirens coming from a distance. That's when the paranoia began settling inside my head.
Yo, you are an anxious guy, bro. Somebody is told, like, you didn't learn anything in school. You have never watched a YouTube video. You've never experienced anything in your life. And you're a very paranoid, anxious individual. I see.
As I thought someone from afar had called the cops on me, I then went inside my vehicle and began to drive off, not caring if my car had further trampled whatever life was remaining within that deer.
All good, brother.
It's just a deer. It's just a deer. Don't worry, it's just a deer.
It is.
It's definitely not a hit and run. I just made an honest mistake. How the hell could it be my fault if there's no goddamn streetlights? I eventually make it home and pulled into my driveway as I decided to clean the remaining blood residue lingering on the hood of my car. I didn't want to raise any suspicion from any onlooking neighbors, so I decided to park my car inside my garage so I could hose my car without the feeling of being watched. After several minutes of intense cleaning, I decided to quietly approach my washroom without waking up my parents. I began to fill my bathtub up with warm water, as the idea of soaking
Bro, calm your ass down, bro. Goodness.
For an hour or two wouldn't hurt my chances of calming my nerves down. The next couple shifts, I was able to get back on the horse as I conducted business as usual.
Yeah, we blessed, bro. We blessed. We got our window fixed. You know what I'm saying? The car is not broke. You good, man. Everything's good to me.
I honestly swept the entire deer occurrence under the rug, as I needed to get on with my life and not latch on to a simple mistake that inevitably would have happened. I decided to take an entirely alternate route and not the dark back roads.
I'm not going down no damn cornfield route. Why would you do that in the first place, trying to be fast, bro? Nah, bro. I'm going the street route.
Heading home, I couldn't run the risk of hitting another deer, as the guilt from the first deer still tears me to shreds internally. I remember this one night, I worked the usual graveyard hours when I picked up this one girl near a busy location in the city. She surprisingly lived in the direction of where I resided, so I figured dropping her off was a bargain one couldn't refuse. As we made our way home, I remember looking at my rearview mirror and seeing a rotting deer's head carcass laying on the back seat of my car. That's when I slammed my foot on the gas pedal and began jetting through the freeway as the Uber customer yelled,
What the hell are you doing? Sir, can you please pull over? I want to get out. Stop the car! Stop the car! Stop it! Are you crazy? Are you crazy?
Yeah, this is a mentally insane person that can't let something go. Yeah.
Let me out of your car, you freak!
That's when I abruptly swerved my car in the direction of the
What is wrong with this nigga, bro?
back roads where I had initially killed the deer. I gradually accelerated my vehicle through the field of crops and trees, while simultaneously
Now you need to go to jail.
contemplating if I was hallucinating or if my brain was playing sadistic tricks on me. I then casually drew my attention towards the passenger, and I could visibly see the woman's head turn into a deer's.
This nigga's schizophrenic, bro. This nigga has issues. He has issues. That's the break, by the way. What happened? Oh, nah. Oh, nah.
It's just a deer. It's just a deer. Don't worry. It's just a deer.
Oh, no.
It's definitely not a hit and run.
Oh, yeah. No, this was just a crazy person to begin with.
I just made an honest mistake.
Oh, that was a good plot. plot twist, man. I ain't gonna lie. That's a good plot twist. Okay. Oh, my battery. Okay. That's a good plot twist. I like that one. Hey, I ranked that one. At first, I'm like, yo, what's up with Buddy? I ranked that one 6.8 out of 10. That was a good one, man. He got me with that one. That's a good one, bro. I wasn't expecting that.
This is a story that happened a couple of years ago when I was 19 years old. I had a friend named Matt who was celebrating his birthday at a nightclub downtown. It was pretty exciting as he was turning 19 himself, which was the legal drinking age from where I resided.
Where do you live where that's the legal drinking age?
I remember wisely taking an Uber as opposed to driving down there myself, just in case I wanted to get hammered.
Last time I went out, bro, me and my dog, we went out, we was chilling, bro. Somebody, and I'm glad we didn't drive. We took an Uber, bro. This car came, turned around the corner as soon as we pulled up. Wham! Slammed into a parked car, bro. That car that he was parked hit the car in front of that one, and the one in front of that one hit the one in front of that one. So we were all pinned in, bro. The dude, I guess, was like, well, the damage is done. Left and still went to go have fun. Left all the cars crashed with his car right there. And once it was all over, all the things were over at 2 o'clock, he came back. And they were all trying to figure it out right then. I said, oh my God.
Turning legal age where I was from always gave a reason to go over the top with the drinking, so taking an Uber was completely justifiable. When I eventually got inside the club, I could recall dancing with multiple females while hammering down countless drinks.
Okay.
Again, it was my friend Matt's birthday, so we usually hosted these extravagant events by getting a booth along with bottle service. Hey, dude, you having a good time? Yes, sir.
Get your arm from around me, nigga.
I bet you're checking out that blonde at the bar, huh? Come on, man, why don't you mind your own beeswax, birthday boy? You like them thick, don't you?
What the One, hold on. One. Let me just assess a couple things. Beeswax, right? 2, why the hell did you just slap me in my face laughing?
Thick, don't you?
And why did he knock him out?
Oh,
That nigga's knocked out.
You know what else is thick? What? My vomit.
Oh man, holding your face on the club toilet like that, huh? Put your hand on that. Could never be me. This is a crazy, crazy situation. Guys, never get this.
I remember not feeling as intoxicated after puking in the bathroom stall, but that didn't stop me from throwing in the towel and calling it a night. I can recall heading out of the club and calling an Uber, as I knew my chances of picking up a female was slim to none, considering I had regurgitated ramen breath. I ultimately purchased an Uber pool, which was when multiple riders heading in the same direction as you could also share a ride. I particularly didn't like sharing rides with strangers, but seeing as how cheap the Uber pool was in comparison to the regular Uber, I thought I'd give it a try. I wasn't exactly the wealthiest guy at the time, just an average college student who was broke and lived off eating noodle packs to help make ends meet. About 10 minutes later, my Uber finally arrived curbside near the club. As I approached the Uber, I nonchalantly hopped in the back of the vehicle, as I could see the front passenger seat being occupied by another male. I remember seeing the male passed out drunk, as I assumed he had consumed a large amount of alcohol, considering we were in the club district of the city. As the Uber driver begins to drive towards our destinations, I kindly introduce myself by saying, "Hey there. Long night, ain't it?" "Yep, I'm kinda used to it." "What's wrong with him?" "He's just drunk as a skunk, just like the majority of you kids I pick up." "Yeah, well, you only live once, you know." The driver acknowledges my statement by nodding his head as he proceeds to carry on with the ride ahead.
You live once, right?
I remember briefly being in and out of consciousness, as I knew the ride was going to approximately take a little longer than usual, due to the ride being an Uber pool. I kindly request the Uber driver to play some music in his car by saying, "Excuse me, sir, do you have an aux cord I can use to play my music?" "I thought you said you only live once, no?"
That got to do with my music.
Yeah. Well, enjoy your life while you're still here, kid.
Hey!
I confusingly respond with, what do you mean? Don't you just enjoy looking at nature? I then looked outside and realized
Everything I love in that moment, I would have attacked that nigga. I would have grabbed him, grabbed the wheel. We would have crashed before you take me wherever you're trying to take me, bro.
that he was taking us through a secluded rural area where it was nothing but crop fields and land. That's when my sobering reality set in, as I realized he had completely driven off route from the requested destination. Sir, where are we going? Can I ask you a question? Sure. Why did you get inside my car? Because you're my Uber driver? And why did you assume that I'm your Uber driver? Because you picked me up? That's when I checked the Uber app and noticed something so disturbing that still raises the hairs on the back of my neck just thinking about it. The profile picture of the driver was the same man passed out on the passenger seat. As I casually glanced at the passenger, I could see a trickle of blood dripping down from his mouth.
His whole slit.
That's when the driver looked at me through the rearview mirror and said, "I'm not an Uber driver, kid." Then who the hell are you? You're gonna wish you never lived from the torture I'm gonna put you through.
Attack! Attack!
That's when I opened the door and immediately jumped out onto the side of the dirt road as the man abruptly stopped the vehicle.
Oh no. Run through the woods.
I knew I had fractured my rib cage, but through sheer adrenaline, I had picked myself up and ran deep into the middle of a nearby cornfield. I remember running for about 5 minutes or so, until I was a good couple yards away from the vehicle.
Let's go.
That's when I heard the man yelling from afar, saying, "Come back, kid, I'm not gonna hurt you."
At this point, just to save myself from being found, I would have laid down, right? I'd have been laying down. When he got close, I would have fought for my life.
It was just a joke. I remained silent and crouched down the entire time as I dialed 911 on my cell phone. I remember whispering my location to the operator while simultaneously using the Google Map feature. What was 15 minutes felt like 15 hours, as I saw several police units show up at the disclosed location. I ultimately ended up filing a police report and getting dropped off at my house from one of the officers. As far as the so-called Uber driver, he was unfortunately not found, as the vehicle
He got your address.
was located near a forest preserve about a mile away from where the cornfield was.
Wow.
The man in the passenger seat was in fact the real Uber driver, who was unfortunately pronounced dead at the scene. I still don't know what the man planned to do with me that night. All I can speculate is that the man was severely ill in the head and needs to get some sort of professional help. I now
He's very past professional help.
don't drink, nor do I take any form of public transportation when I go out, as the fear of encountering that man still triggers me to this day.
Yeah, he was gonna have his way, brother. You did the right thing. He was silly for not putting the child lock on. If I'm about to torture, I'm getting all my T's and crossing all my T's, dotting all my I's. I got torturing to do.
This is a story that happened a few years ago when I was working as a Lyft driver. I worked countless hours picking up random clients and bringing them to their respective destinations. I quite frankly enjoyed my job, as I got to meet new people every week, and sometimes got to engage in conversation about their personal life and whatnot. I was a pretty social guy, so this was a common thing. Well, for the most part anyway. The job wasn't always sunshine and glam, as some people just brushed me off and strictly wanted to be driven without any small talk. I remember this one Saturday night, I had parked my car close to the club district, as it was the hotspot for Lyft drivers trying to get the most amount of clients possible. Most individuals around this side of town were usually intoxicated and were just fetching for a ride home. I remember driving about several different individuals throughout the night and got tipped pretty decent each time. The time was roughly 1 a.m. when I decided to park my car curbside near the district once more and hopefully drive one last client home before calling it a night. That's when he abruptly appears face first on my driver's side window.
Guys, I want y'all to know I'm very scared of like videos like I don't do stuff like this. Jump scares, I verbally, outwardly, yeah. I'm gonna have to run that back and watch myself do that after this video, bro. I wasn't expecting that.
At night. That's when a girl abruptly appears face first on my driver's side window while cupping her hands around her eyes, as if she was trying to look at me or something inside my car. To be honest, I was a little taken aback, as my car didn't have its windows tinted, so seeing her nosily peep inside my car was rather bizarre to say the least. Ma'am, can I help you? She just stared at me, and then said in a frantic voice,
Please drive me.
Ma'am, is everything okay?
You have an
Please
Uber?
just
Did
take
you
me
have an
home.
Uber? Are you
I'm
Uber,
begging
ma'am?
you. Let me inside your car, sir.
The woman relentlessly pleaded for me to take her home, as the tone in her voice gave off an impression that sounded wretched and distressful. Ma'am, I
Let
can't
me see some of your credentials, man.
take any clients unless you requested a ride through the Lyft app.
I need a ride now. Please open the door. I'm begging you.
Okay, I'll drive you. That's when the lady hops in the passenger seat and directs me to drive on the freeway. I knew driving her would be a huge risk, as it went against Lyft's policies, and also my moral values of picking up random strangers without the security of the company's app.
And you exposed, brother.
I couldn't help but draw my attention towards the lady. It was honestly difficult driving, as I couldn't help but glance over at her direction through my peripherals. Ma'am, is everything okay? Do you need me to call the cops at all?
No.
Oh, hell no, yo. Yeah, you made the wrong choice today, bucko. You made the wrong choice.
Oh, no.
She just kept repeating that word while hyperventilating, like she was borderline about to experience an anxiety attack. Ma'am, you're really scaring me. Are you sure everything is all right?
I ain't gonna lie, at this point, it's time to just hop out your own car, bro. I'd have been like, 1 second, real quick, man. Hopped out. As my car was going, I just would have called the police, bro. I picked somebody up I shouldn't have, and I think my life was in danger.
Just get off at this exit and keep driving.
Ma'am, where are you taking me? The road ahead is just nothing but forest preserve according to my GPS. Do you live outside of town or something? And how are you going to pay?
I already said I was going to withdraw money from an ATM, so just shut up and keep driving, okay?
Hell no, ma'am. You gonna have to slide, ma'am. I'm finna have to slide your ass.
I have honestly never felt so much fear in my entire life than this particular moment. I was convinced that the woman had to be mentally ill or delusional to some degree, with the weird behavior and antics. There was about a 5-minute awkward moment of silence as I kept driving through the one-way streets surrounded with hordes of trees and forests.
Hey, can you pull over here? I just have to pee really, really bad.
I then slowed the vehicle down and eventually made a stop to the side of the road, as a woman gets out and begins to sprint towards the forest to do her business. That's when I began to play the waiting game.
What are you doing? This nigga's green. There's nobody. I refuse to believe there's anybody this green in the world.
While casually texting my fiance regarding the situation. As I was looking at my cell phone, I could see my car begin to illuminate with light, shining from the back of my car. A car had just pulled up and oddly parked right next to the rear end of my vehicle. I then saw a hooded man get out of the passenger side and sprint towards the forest as I began to scream, Hey! What the hell are you doing? That's when I got startled by another man who abruptly slammed his hand against the driver's side window of where I was sitting at. He then said, Where is she? Where is she, you little rat? I don't know what you're talking about, dude. I'm just a Lyft driver. I saw her get inside your vehicle. That's when I saw the hooded man drag the woman from out of the forest while covering her mouth with one of his hands. I could visibly see and hear her muffled cries for help while forcibly getting dragged into the back seat of their vehicle. The man by my window then sprints to the vehicle and immediately drives off into the distance. I began to dial 911 while attempting to chase the vehicle, but unfortunately couldn't keep up as they aggressively sped away. I then pulled over to the nearest exit and waited for the police to show up. About 15 to 20 minutes later, the cops showed up and I began to file a police report. When I was asked about any information regarding the vehicle, I almost wanted to rip all my hair out, as I failed to get the simplest information, which was getting the man's driver's license. I still think about that incident every time I'm on the road now. All I can hope for is that that woman ends up returning home safely, and that those guys end up getting...
The greenest in the world, brother. You're the greenest guy in the world. I'd have to say that. That being said, y'all let me know what y'all think, man. Like the video, sub up, comment, bitch, for the channel. I love y'all, man. I appreciate y'all, man. I'm grateful for y'all, man. We gone. Hey, did he let